Hey kids, welcome to Channel Kids Moral Stories.
Today's story topic is the poor boy and the rich girl. Let's start. Once upon a time, in a small village, nestled in the rolling hills of a far-off land, there lived a poor boy named Rowan. He lived with his parents in a small, humble hut on the outskirts of the village. Rowan's parents worked hard to provide for him, his father toiling in the fields and his mother sewing clothes for the villagers. Despite their hard work, they could barely afford the basic necessities, and Rowan often went to school with tattered clothes and worn-out shoes. On the other side of the village, there lived a rich girl named Sophia. She lived in a grand mansion with her parents, who were wealthy business owners. Sophia had everything she could ever want: expensive clothes, toys, and gadgets. She went to school in a fancy car, and her parents threw lavish parties for her birthday. One day, Rowan and Sophia met at school. Sophia was immediately drawn to Rowan's kind and gentle nature. Despite his tattered clothes and worn-out shoes, Rowan, on the other hand, was amazed by Sophia's beauty and wealth. They started talking, and Sophia learned about Rowan's love for books and his dreams of becoming a writer. Rowan learned about Sophia's love for music and her talent for playing the piano. As they spent more time together, Sophia began to realize that true happiness didn't come from material possessions. She saw how Rowan's family struggled to make ends meet, yet they were always happy and content. They shared what little they had, and their love for each other was palpable. Sophia began to question her own life and values. She realized that her parents' wealth hadn't brought her true happiness, and she felt lonely despite being surrounded by luxury. Rowan, too, learned from Sophia. He saw how lonely she was. Despite being surrounded by wealth and luxury, he realized that true friendship and love were more valuable than any amount of money. He learned about the importance of empathy, kindness, and compassion. Together, they learned valuable lessons about the importance of relationships over material possessions. They became inseparable friends, and their friendship changed their lives forever. Sophia started volunteering at a local orphanage, and Rowan started writing stories for the village newspaper. As they grew older, their friendship deepened. They went on adventures together, explored the village, and supported each other's dreams. Sophia's parents, seeing the positive change in their daughter, began to reevaluate their own priorities. They started donating to local charities and spending more time with Sophia. Rowan's family, too, benefited from the friendship. Sophia's parents offered to help them financially, but Rowan's parents refused. Instead, they asked Sophia's parents to mentor them in business, and soon they were able to start their own small enterprise. Years went by, and Rowan became a successful writer, while Sophia became a renowned musician. They never forgot their humble beginnings and always stayed true to their friendship. They proved that true wealth lies in the connections we make with others, and that friendship can cross even the widest of economic divides. The moral of the story is that true happiness and wealth come from within. It's the relationships we build, the love we share, and the kindness we show to others. Sophia's friendship is a testament to the power of empathy, compassion, and the human spirit.
Hey guys, welcome to Channel Kids Moral Stories. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house on a quiet street, there lived a kind and gentle rabbit named Luna. She loved nothing more than helping others and making new friends. One sunny afternoon, while Luna was busy tending to her garden, she heard a faint meowing sound coming from behind a nearby bush. She hopped over to investigate and found a tiny ball of fluff, a lost kitten. The kitten had big green eyes and soft, gray fur. It looked up at Luna and meowed pitifully. Luna's heart melted, and she knew she had to help. "Don't worry, little one," Luna said softly. "I'll find your home for you." Luna asked around the neighborhood, but no one seemed to know where the kitten belonged. She decided to take the kitten under her wing and care for it until they found its home. As the days passed, Luna and the kitten, whom she named Whiskers, became inseparable. They played hide-and-seek in the garden, chased butterflies, and snuggled up together in Luna's cozy burrow. But Luna knew she couldn't keep Whiskers forever. She was determined to find the kitten's real home. So, she asked her animal friends for help. A wise old owl suggested they search the nearby houses, while a friendly squirrel offered to check the trees. Even a curious hedgehog joined the search party. After many hours of searching, they finally found Whiskers' home, a cozy little house just a few blocks away. Whiskers' overjoyed owner, a little girl named Sophie, thanked Luna again and again for taking care of her beloved kitten. As Luna said goodbye to Whiskers, she knew she had made a new friend, and that helping others was the greatest reward of all. From then on, Luna, Whiskers, and Sophie had many more adventures together, spreading kindness and joy throughout the neighborhood.
In the village of Willowdale, a clever merchant named Marcus had a lazy donkey named Max. Max always looked for ways to avoid work. One day, Marcus and Max set out on a journey to market, but Max had a plan to get out of carrying his load. A merchant loaded his donkey with bags of salt and set off to market. The donkey, known for its laziness, hated carrying heavy loads. As they journeyed along, they came to a river crossing, where the donkey accidentally slipped and fell, soaking the salt bags and making them much lighter. The donkey felt relieved, but the merchant was dismayed by the loss. Undeterred, the merchant reloaded the donkey with even more bags of salt and continued their journey. However, when they reached the river again, the donkey deliberately fell into the water, spoiling the salt once more. The merchant, wise to the donkey's trick, decided to teach it a lesson. Next, he loaded the donkey with bags of sponges, which absorbed the water and became heavier when wet. The donkey, thinking it had outsmarted the merchant again, fell into the river, only to find its load had become even heavier than before. The donkey was shocked and finally learned its lesson, carrying the heavy load without complaint. The merchant laughed, saying, "You foolish donkey, your trick has been discovered. You can't cheat me anymore." There was a wealthy farmer named Jack who owned a lot of land and grew many crops. He was known for being very stingy and loving money. One day, he found a hidden river on his land, which made his farm even more valuable. But instead of sharing the discovery with his community, or using the water to help others, Jack kept it a secret and used the river to grow even more crops, keeping all the profits for himself. As time passed, the river's magic went away, and the land began to dry up. Jack's crops failed, and he lost all his wealth. He realized too late that his greed had cost him everything. The community, who had once respected Jack, rejected him, and he was left alone, surrounded by the ruins of his once thriving farm. He finally understood that true wealth comes from sharing, caring, and taking care of the land and relationships. The story teaches us that greed can lead to loss and that only caring about money can have bad consequences. It shows us the importance of sharing, kindness, and community, and reminds us that true wealth is in the relationships we build and the beauty of nature around us. Jack's story became a warning tale told to many, reminding them of the dangers of greed and the power of kindness.
Once upon a time, in a small meadow, there lived a little firefly named Flash. Flash was smaller than the other fireflies, and his light was not as bright. He often felt scared and unsure of himself. One day, a big storm rolled in, and the meadow was plunged into darkness. The other fireflies were too afraid to fly, but Flash knew he had to be brave. He decided to fly out into the storm to find help. As he flew, the wind buffeted him about, and the rain pounded against his tiny body. But Flash persevered, his little light shining like a beacon in the darkness. Suddenly, he saw a faint light in the distance. A lantern hung from a tree branch. Flash flew towards it, and found a wise old owl perched beneath. The owl asked, "What brings you out on such a stormy night, little firefly?" Flash explained the situation, and the owl offered to help. Together, they flew back to the meadow, the owl's wings shielding Flash from the wind. As they approached, the other fireflies saw Flash's light, and were inspired to join in, lighting up the meadow like 1,000 tiny stars. The storm began to clear, and the sun peeked through the clouds. The fireflies cheered for Flash, hailing him as a hero. From that day on, Flash knew he was brave, and his light shone brighter than ever before. He learned that even the smallest creatures can make a big difference when they face their fears and stand up for what's right. The meadow celebrated Flash's bravery with a grand festival, and the little firefly's legend lived on, inspiring future generations to be brave and shine their lights for all to see. Like and subscribe channel for more stories.